As with everything in the Cromwell Street murders, dates are very important. And dates are something that I've noticed a lot. And when it comes to Charmaine West, I would say they're even more important. Charmaine was born in Glasgow in March 1963. Unfortunately, the police weren't able to pinpoint exactly when Charmaine was murdered. All they had to go on were photographs and dates and some very big evidence that came from Dr. David Whittaker in the trial. David Whittaker was an odontologist. What he did was, with a very good photo that helped because it was forward facing, he was able to compare the date of that photo was taken, which we know is the 29th of April 1971, and Charmaine's skull, which was found 23 years later. Charmaine had lost her baby teeth quite recently before she died, and part of his evidence was to try and narrow down the time from the photo to death. Using the evidence he had, he said that death occurred 2 to 3 months after the photo was taken. So this means he measured that tooth eruption had moved on that much and it would have taken 2 to 3 months. He also said that death could have been immediate, but we do know that Charmaine was still alive on the 15th of June. So by then 6 weeks had passed. So his evidence overall was that not more than probably 2 to 3 months had passed since the photo was taken and death occurred. Given this, it would mean that her time of death was the end of June to the end of July 1971. There was another expert who drafted a report for the defence, only he wasn't called. His name was Dr. Graham Ritchie, and he shared the same profession as Dr. David Whittaker. I don't have eyes on the report, but it has been quoted from by other people. What I do have is a downloadable PDF that he wrote quite a while after, but he was detailing how he came to the conclusions that he came to. It says that based on the same evidence as Dr. David Whittaker, he estimated that 4 to 6 months in the extreme was how long had passed since the photo was taken and the time of death for Charmaine West. And obviously this is quite different to what Dr. Whittaker said. It would put her time of death much further into the summer, potentially. So we have 2 experts, 2 different opinions. So I went to Google just to see nowadays, without the question of somebody's murder, I just asked how long it takes for upper incisors to erupt after baby teeth have been lost, and it definitely was more on the side of Graham Ritchie than it was David Whittaker. Since the trial, and in many documentaries and even in some books, what was given as evidence has been misconstrued. So I have seen one documentary in particular where one of the ex-police officers say that David Whittaker was able to pinpoint within a few days when Charmaine had been murdered. And this just isn't the case, because it was quite clear that he said 2 to 3 months after the photo was taken, and the photo was taken on the 29th of April. Now, the case of Charmaine was obviously a very emotive one, and I know that the police wanted to definitely work towards making sure that the people who did her wrong were seen to have justice thrust upon them. But I very much disagree with people that were involved in the investigation and the trial coming out post-trial and giving incorrect information to the public, because then that narrative is what sticks, and it shouldn't be what sticks. The truth should be what sticks. Why would they do this? It's because to prosecute Rose, they needed the jury to believe that Charmaine was killed at a time when Fred West was in prison. But when you actually look at the dates and you know that Charmaine West was alive on the 15th of June, Fred West was released from prison on the 24th of June, This means that there was a 9-day window in which Rose was on her own and could have killed Charmaine. For me, having read this stuff now, other than just watching the documentaries, none of what Dr. David Whittaker said indicates that she died within them 9 days, or that he could prove she died within them 9 days. There were other parts of evidence that were used, and I am going to go on to another video to explain that.